Welcome back to the deep dive. Great to have you with us again.
Good to be here.
So last time we really went deep into Hebrews 11.1, didn't we? We talked about what faith actually is.
Exactly. That confidence in what we hope for, assurance about what we don't see,
hmm
foundational stuff.
Right. And today we're sort of pivoting from the what of faith to the crucial question of where we direct it. We're focusing on a really practical passage, Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6.
Ah, yes, a classic.
It really is. And look, if you've ever found yourself grappling with a big decision, maybe feeling uncertain about the future or just, overwhelmed by fear sometimes, this deep dive is definitely for you.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is that this passage, it offers more than just sort of abstract spiritual ideas. It's genuinely like a practical roadmap.
A roadmap, I like that.
Yeah, for navigating all the complexities life throws at us. It pushes us towards a different kind of wisdom, one that honestly often feels counterintuitive to how we normally operate.
It really does. It challenges our default settings, you could say.
Okay.
Okay, so let's dive straight in. Let's read the full verse because every single word counts here. It says,
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight.
so powerful. You can see it right there. It gives us this like three-part command
Well,
structure,
three things to do.
followed by this incredible promise. Okay, let's unpack this piece by piece.
Sounds good.
The first command really sets the foundation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And the key word there, it jumps right out, is all.
All, yeah, no holding back.
Exactly. This isn't like partial trust. It's not just trusting when things feel easy or when it makes sense to us. It's a call for wholehearted, absolute reliance.
Total reliance.
Think about it. God is asking us to place not just some of our trust, or even most of it, but every single bit of our trust in him. The Hebrew word used here for trust, bata, it paints this picture of being securely fastened, almost like you're anchored to a massive, immovable rock. You feel safe, confident.
It's a deep security, isn't it? More than just, agreeing with an idea in your head. It involves everything, your mind, your will, your feelings.
It's an invitation to just let go, to hand over the reins of your inner world, really.
And that phrase, all your heart, Lev, in Hebrew, that's so important too. In their thinking, the heart wasn't just about emotions.
Right, not like we often think of it today.
No, it was the absolute core of a person.
Yeah.
Your intellect, your will, your emotions, your decisions, everything stemmed from the heart. So trust with all your heart means surrendering all of that.
Wow. Your plans, your logic, your feelings.
Everything. It means trusting God more than you trust your own gut feeling or your own fears or even your really well-reasoned arguments sometimes.
And that can be incredibly hard, can it? Especially when your emotions are just screaming one thing.
Oh, absolutely. Or your logic is telling you something completely different. That's the tension.
Which, naturally, brings us straight to the second command. And honestly, I think this is often the toughest one for many of us. Lean not on your own understanding.
Ah, yes. This one.
This is where it really hits home, doesn't it? Because our human viewpoint, well, it's just inherently limited.
Completely.
We usually only see what's right in front of us, maybe the immediate moment, just a tiny little piece of this huge, complex picture.
It's like trying to understand an entire epic novel by reading just one paragraph. You just can't grasp the whole story.
Exactly.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, our understanding is, well, it's like having a map of just one city block when you're trying to navigate a whole sprawling metropolis.
That's a great analogy.
You just don't have the bird's eye view, right? You don't
Yeah.
have the history. You can't see what traffic jams are ahead. But God, he sees the entire story, the whole pattern, start to finish.
The full tapestry.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So this command, it's really about finding freedom. Freedom from that constant pressure, that exhausting need to have everything perfectly figured out by us.
Oh, that pressure is real.
It is. And this raises an important question, doesn't it? How much mental energy, how much emotional energy do we collectively pour into trying to solve things with, frankly, incomplete data?
So much. We spin our wheels.
We do. We run calculations based on information we know isn't the full picture, but we cling to this illusion that our own reason gives us control. It's often just tiring and limiting.
It's so true. We can spend ages analyzing, building what-if scenarios, trying to make sense of things that, from where we stand, just don't make sense yet. And look, this isn't saying thinking is bad.
Not at all. Critical thinking is vital.
But it's about knowing its limits. C.S. Lewis talked about chronological snobbery, this idea that newer is always better, that our modern understanding is superior.
I remember that.
Well, this verse kind of reminds us that our own current understanding, no matter how smart we think we are, is still limited by time and experience. It's a gentle nudge to admit, okay, there's a wisdom here that's bigger than mine.
A necessary humility, really.
Yeah, and then that leads into the third command, which really broadens things out. In all your ways, submit to him.
Right. This isn't just for the crossroads moments.
Exactly. It's not only for the huge life-changing decisions, career, marriage, those biggies. It actually reaches into all the little things, the everyday choices, the small interactions, even the moments that seem totally insignificant.
Absolutely. The Hebrew word here, nakar, it implies more than just passive surrender. It means to actively acknowledge, to recognize, to know God's presence and authority.
So it's active, not passive.
Very active. Submitting here means consciously inviting God's guidance into every single part of your life, from how you handle your morning commute.
Yes, definitely need guidance there sometime.
Right. To dealing with a tricky email or having that difficult conversation you've been putting off, all the way up to the major life events. It's about asking in every situation, okay, God, how do you want me to approach this?
It's like weaving him into the very fabric of your day-to-day.
Exactly. A constant dialogue.
Yeah.
Seeking his input continually.
Okay, so we have these three big commands. Trust completely. Don't rely solely on your limited view. Submit everything, big and small. And then comes the promise. He will make your paths straight.
The payoff.
Yes. But we need to be really clear about what this promise doesn't mean, because it's easy to misunderstand.
Very easy. It's not a magic wand for an easy life.
Right. It is not a guarantee that life will suddenly be smooth sailing, or that you'll be shielded from all hardship, pain, or difficulty. It doesn't mean a road without bumps.
No. And thinking it does can lead to real disappointment when inevitably challenges come. What it does mean is something much deeper, much more reliable.
Okay, what's that deeper meaning?
Well, the Hebrew word yashar, for straight, it doesn't just mean like a straight line on a map. It also means righteous, just, level, proper.
Okay, so more than just direction.
Much more. When God promises to make our paths yashar, he's saying he'll align our journey with his divine purpose. Even if that journey goes through rough patches, he'll guide us. He'll remove the unnecessary obstacles.
Unnecessary ones. That's key.
Yes. Those dead ends and detours that come from just relying on our own flawed plans or stubbornness, the path he guides us on might not look like the one we drew up.
Often doesn't, in my experience.
Right, but it will be the path that leads to where we're truly meant to go, aligned with his bigger plan. It's a path with integrity, ensuring we're heading in the right direction, even when it's tough.
I really like that clarification, removing unnecessary obstacles, making the path aligned and purposeful so we don't waste time and energy going down rabbit holes just because we thought we knew best.
Exactly.
Okay, to make this really concrete, let's use that illustration you mentioned earlier. Imagine you're hiking, right? You're in this huge, thick forest. It's confusing.
Dense woods, yeah. Easy to get lost.
Totally. You kind of know where you want to end up, but the trail ahead is just a mess. Twists, turns, thick bushes, dead ends everywhere. You'd feel anxious, right?
Constantly worried about taking a wrong turn, wasting energy. It's stressful.
Exhausting. Because you're leaning entirely on your own sense of direction, which, let's be honest, in a dense forest, is probably not great.
Probably not reliable, no.
Okay, but now picture the same forest, same difficult terrain. But this time, you've got an expert guide with you.
Someone who knows every path, every shortcut.
Exactly. Knows the dangers, knows the way through. Even when you personally can't see more than 10 feet ahead, even when the path seems to take a weird turn, you can walk with confidence. Why?
Because you're trusting the guide's knowledge, not your own limited view.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're not leaning on your understanding of the forest anymore. You're leaning on theirs. That's the analogy for Proverbs 3.56. The straight path isn't always easy, but with the right guide, it's the right path.
It's a powerful image, trusting the guide.
It really is. And I remember reading this incredible story once about a young woman. She felt this really strong, undeniable call to go be a missionary.
Look.
But the place she felt called to, it was known for being dangerous, politically unstable, just challenging.
So, logically, not the easiest choice.
Logically, it made zero sense. Her own understanding was screaming, this is crazy, it's risky, it's overwhelming. Everyone around her, friends, family, advised her against it. Stay safe, take the easier route.
Understandable advice from a human perspective.
Totally. She battled immense fear, huge doubts. But that calling just wouldn't go away. So she decided, step by step, to trust God, to commit even with the fear, and to consciously not lean on her own understanding that said it was impossible.
That takes courage.
It does. And as she did that, as she submitted her plans, amazing things started happening. Doors that seemed permanently locked just opened. Visas came through when they shouldn't have. Funding appeared out of nowhere.
Wow.
She found connections in the local community she could never have engineered, and she experienced incredible protection in situations that looked genuinely perilous. Political unrest, natural disasters, she came through them.
That's remarkable.
And the mission itself, against all odds, it was incredibly fruitful. It impacted so many lives. Looking back, she said she could clearly see how God had literally made her path straight. Not easy, but guided, protected, provided for in ways she could never have figured out on her own.
What's fascinating there is just how perfectly it shows that tension, doesn't it, between our human limits and God's ability to provide.
Exactly.
Her story really validates the verse. It shows that real impact, real peace often comes not because we're so smart or plan so well, but because we surrender to that higher wisdom.
Yeah, it wasn't about her figuring it out.
No.
Yeah.
It reminds us that sometimes the biggest steps forward happen when we're willing to kind of step off the map we made for ourselves.
Such an inspiring example.
Right.
And it really pushes us to ask, okay, let's unpack this for you listening right now.
Okay.
How can you actually do this? How can you apply this wisdom in your life starting today?
Make it practical.
Yes. It comes down to intentionally weaving these commands into how you operate daily. So first, in your decisions, big ones, small ones, doesn't matter. Before you just jump into a choice, pause. Actually stop for a second. Don't just run on autopilot or pure logic. Ask yourself honestly, am I really trusting God here, or am I leaning too hard on my own viewpoint?
Just that pause can make a huge difference.
It really can. Maybe consider if there's a third way you haven't even thought of yet, one that comes from His wisdom.
Good point.
Okay, second, in your daily life, maybe try starting your day with a really specific, intentional prayer of submission. Doesn't have to be long.
Something simple.
Yeah, okay, Lord, I submit my schedule today, my work, my conversations, even my worries. All of it to you. Guide me, show me your way. It's about setting that intention.
Inviting Him into the details.
Exactly. Even maybe submitting your digital life, how you interact online, asking for wisdom there too.
That's a relevant one today.
Definitely. And third, in your trials. When things get confusing, when life doesn't make sense, when the path ahead looks foggy, actively remind yourself of this truth.
God's perspective is bigger than mine.
Yes, His wisdom is higher. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Maybe that looks like journaling about your frustration, then deliberately writing, I choose to trust.
Or talking it through with someone wise.
Or even just taking a deep breath and whispering, okay, God, I trust you even though I don't get this right now.
Those are really concrete actions. And it brings up an important question for everyone listening to maybe reflect on.
Yeah.
Take a moment, maybe even pause this if you need to. Identify just one specific area in your life right now where you suspect you might be leaning too heavily on your own understanding.
It's just one area.
Yeah. Could be a relationship issue, a career choice, a financial stress, maybe a habit you're trying to break. What would it actually look like? What's the first practical step you could take to consciously surrender that specific area to God?
What would change?
How would letting go of the need to control or fully figure out that one thing? How might that shift your approach, your stress level, your peace? Just something to ponder.
That's a powerful challenge. It really brings these ancient words right into our modern lives, makes them personal. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive today on Proverbs 3.5-6. We've really explored the strength we find when we trust God wholeheartedly, the freedom that comes when we stop relying only on our limited viewpoint.
That liberation.
Yes, and the certainty, the promise of His guidance when we choose to submit all our ways, big and small, to Him.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture again, what this deep dive really highlights is something fundamental about wisdom itself.
Okay.
True wisdom maybe isn't about having all the answers yourself. Maybe it's more about knowing who you can trust completely with all the questions and uncertainties.
Ah, that's a great distinction. Knowing who to trust.
Yeah. Shifting from relying on self to relying on God. That shift can change everything.
Absolutely. I mean, just imagine for a second. Imagine the clarity, the freedom, maybe even the unexpected opportunities that could open up if you truly release that burden of needing to figure everything out alone.
Less anxiety, perhaps more adventure.
Right. What possibilities might unfold when your path is being made straight by a wisdom far beyond your own? It's definitely something to think about this week.
Good food for thought.
And next time on the Deep Dive, we're going to keep exploring this theme of faith and trust. We'll be looking at Matthew 17:20.
The mustard seed.
Exactly. Faith as small as a mustard seed that can apparently move mountains. We'll dive into what that means practically. You won't want to miss it.
Sounds fascinating.
Until then, keep trusting, keep submitting, and let that wisdom guide your steps. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.